Tonight we have a midweek update of week 6 of the APBL, and we are also going to be talking about the NFL schedule release next week. All of this and more in 20 seconds. One, two, three strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the 7th inning stretch, episode 3 ever of this broadcast. How is everybody doing on this Friday? Hope you all had a great evening and great day. Katie B out there with us. Katie says, hello, how are you? A quick episode for you all tonight, just mostly to give you an update of what's going on in the APBL, and then for us to talk about next Wednesday, which is going to be the NFL schedule release and how that's going to affect the APFL and the WRL. Again, hope you all had a great week. Hope you also like the new hat. Hanley, if you're out there, I hope you like the hat. Greetings from Gatlinburg. Jason made it. Jason, stay off the ATVs this year for us, sir, please, and thank you. How long was the drive this morning? Was there any particular reason why it took so long? Yeah, I like this hat too. I'm glad Hanley that was able to pull this from me from Detroit when he went to the game last week and sent it to me. He sent it out on Monday and I got it on Wednesday. Really quick service. Probably the most expensive hat that I now own, between the price of him getting it in the store, put it in the mail, and I told him I would give him a finder's fee as well. I like this hat a lot. 6 hours, it's not terrible. I think when we do it from down here, if we're going through the national park, it takes us about 4.5 hours. And we will be doing that very, very shortly. Sean out there with us as well. Sean, how are you? Sean coming on board with us next year in the APBL. We're going to be talking about it a lot tonight. So, Sean, I appreciate you coming on. New Pope is a White Sox fan. Well, it only took him 2 days to get selected, and it took 3 days for Sanders to get selected. And we have a Chicago Pope before we have a Chicago quarterback who has thrown for 4,000 yards. So all the jokes just keep on coming, and I love it. I'm here for it. So let's go through the highlights that I got for you for week 6 of the APBL. Hanley, he's out there. Hanley, thank you for the hat. I wore it just for you tonight, brother. I love this. I've had it on all day. So new graphics for you for the APBL this week. Mostly hoping everybody's out there just here. Yeah, isn't it though? I like it. Kevin out there with us as well. Kevin, how are you tonight? The Popes. I like it instead of the Bears. That's pretty good. I have not heard that one yet. So new graphics for you all for the APBL for this week. Hopefully you all will like this. Going kind of down in the order that Yahoo's got us in for the week of, I don't know, hierarchy. And I don't know if the hierarchy is based on me being me and being at the top of the list, or if it has anything to do with importance of the week. All I know is that it is a very important game that we are showcasing, number one, and that is the Cincinnati Reds versus the Atlanta Braves. Hopefully you guys like this new layout. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I was inspired while I was at the Green Jackets game last night and their scoreboard and decided to show it. I didn't realize how much stuff was going to probably be on the screen and get in the way with that stupid duck that's up in the upper right-hand corner. But what you're looking at is the team that is in the lead for the week between the two teams in the APBL. What you're looking at is the top scoring player so far. Now, all of these graphics were done before any game started today on Friday. This is all as of last night, Thursday's numbers. Down the left-hand side, what you're looking at is the lineup going into, or the concluding lineup for Thursday night for that particular APBL team, which is the Cincinnati Reds. You see the name across the top there in the middle. You see the player that's being showcased. You see the picture of him there in the middle. The big 28 that you see on the right-hand side is the number of points that player has scored so far for the week. You'll see a little bit of a difference in the data that you see below the big 28. If it's a batter, you're going to see runs, singles, doubles, triples. If it's a pitcher, you're going to see innings pitched, wins, losses, hits, earned runs, and stuff like that. And then what you're going to see is the scoreboard so far for the week, with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday being on there, which is inning 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, of course, Friday being inning 5, 6 being Saturday being inning 6, and Sunday being inning 7. Let's see, what else have I missed out there? Kevin just got into the Savannah Banana Lotto, hoping to get tickets for July in Philly. That would be awesome. Talk to Gerard about that. I think he has some kind of in, and I don't know how it works for him, that he gets priority on tickets because he's been to 2 of them or maybe even 3 of them now, but hit him up. Maybe he can help you out with that. The Braves, the struggling is for sure just for this week. Braves 5-0 coming into this game. Granted, we can't put it all on Gerard right now. That is the general manager of the Braves. He is in the midst of traveling to New York at the moment, so I know he's a little bit distracted. But a win is a win, and I will take it, as I am up 224 to 122 going into Friday night baseball. We have the Toronto Blue Jays that are up over the Baltimore Orioles right now. Pitcher Cole Ragans leading the way for him with 23 points. You can see the stats down there on the right-hand side. JB, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hey, people are asking what's going on with your fantasy baseball team. I actually got 2 questions about that today. You need to give us a little bit of insight what's going on. So for the Toronto Blue Jays, as you can see the lineup there on the left-hand side, you can see the score as it looks across for the week. Toronto, even though they're the number 9 seed, putting it on the number 2 seed, Baltimore right now. Score as of Thursday night, 162 to 86. Next game we got up at the Chicago Cubs over the St. Louis Cardinals. Chicago Cubs up 126 over 116. Dylan Cease, the pitcher, scoring 24 points, and then going on to day after that. I don't know if Eric's out there right now that give us a little insight on what's going on with that. I didn't do a whole lot of reading. I just saw as I was doing the art for you for tonight that he is day to day. Hopefully that is not too long lasting for him. JB says my team sucks. I guess that's one way to put it. I don't think your team is all that bad. We just got to keep you up to date on the day-to-day roster updates, and I think you would be our lineup updates, and I think you would be okay. Next game we got up on us is the New York Yankees versus the Cleveland Guardians. I think Jason is on right now saying that he just got to Gatlinburg. Yankees up on the Cleveland Guardians right now, 157 to 108. Pitcher Zach Wheeler leading the way for the Yankees right now with 24 points. You can see the lineup there on the left-hand side. And then, let's see. Hopefully you like this, Hanley, because I think you're coming up in about 2 slides. We got Detroit on here as the featured team, which is your team. But before we get to you, we got the LA Angels. That is MJ's team, and Freddie Freeman, first baseman for her team, scoring 27 points already for the week. As you can see, she is up over the defending champs, San Francisco Giants, 188 to 146 there. You can see her lineup for the week down the left-hand side. And next up, Hanley, we do have you, the Detroit Tigers, giving it to the Chicago White Sox right now, 161 to 68. Our Carlos Rodon getting 21 points. You can see his stats down there on the bottom right-hand side. I will say this in the Chicago White Sox defense. I don't know if you looked at her scoreboard too close this week or not. She did have a relief pitcher that got her negative 25 points. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. Literally got a phone call from her going, what the heck? How does a relief pitcher get me negative 25 points? You have to go out there and look at that scoreboard. Pretty ridiculous on how that happened. And then our final matchup for the week, Texas Rangers up over the Boston Red Sox. As Jonathan said already, my team sucks. Texas Rangers, Katie, up over The Boston Red Sox right now 105-93. She's got a pitcher out there with 23 points. You can see his stats down there on the right-hand side and her lineup so far for the week on the left-hand side. And as Jason says, negative 25 points out of a relief pitcher is a ouch. Big time ouch. Katie says, let's go Rangers. And then let's see. Torque and Carpenter could be the waiver wire steals of the year. I'm going to assume that those are two guys that you picked up. And as well as you're doing right now, I would not doubt it either. Keep dreaming, JB. Wow. He says he's going to come back and win. And because Katie is playing him this week, she says, keep on dreaming. So that is it from the APBL for the week. Hopefully you all like the new graphic. Got to do a little bit of work if we're going to keep that as the thing going forward. I'm going to look at on Box Out Sports as well to see if there's anything that we could do that's a little bit quicker, because that literally, for probably the 20-minute show that we're going to do tonight, if we even make it to 20 minutes, that was 4 hours worth of work to get 20 minutes worth of a show. Do I have to pay extra if I go out for the season? What does that mean, go out for the season? Blown save, that would suck. So here's everything that happened. It wasn't just a blown save, so there was no real points to come out of that. It wasn't a win-loss or a blown save. No points come out of that, out of the way we do our scoring system. I think he literally gave up like 8 hits, 5 earned runs. The hits are -1. The earned runs are -2. It was just a ridiculous bad stat line. If I can find it for you, Sean, I'll shoot it over to you on Discord, let you know how it turned out. Jason says we can make it to 20 minutes. What is Jansen? You have to tell me what that means. I don't know what you're meaning. There's a possibility that maybe I put something on the slide that doesn't make any sense to somebody. Let me know what you mean. Oh, you mean if you don't win a game for the season? I'll tell you what. If I make the playoffs and you and I match up for our second game for the season, because I think we do play for a second time this year, I'll bow down to make sure you get one. How about that? Because I do feel pretty bad at where you're at right now. Because I know you know your baseball, and I know that you finally got to draft this year, and you're not just co-owning a team. And I'm like, what's going on with your team right now? So let's switch away from APBL and let's talk about the NFL draft. Our NFL schedule for next week that's going to be released on Wednesday and how that's going to affect the APFL and the WRL. So once that schedule gets released, Toby and I, who is the director of the NFC on the APFL side, will sit down and we will start putting the schedule together for the APFL. One of my most favorite things that I do all year, especially when Toby and I collaborate on this, and even more so when we agree on something, when we're halfway across or all the way across the country from each other, and we're looking at this thing as separate eyes, and then we come together as a conglomerate and we see eye to eye on everything. And I love whenever that happens. So we will wait for the NFL schedule release on Wednesday, and then we will start putting the APFL schedule together on Thursday. We might not release anything until the following Wednesday, but hopefully by Wednesday we will be able to have a schedule release for you all. And then we've been kind of holding out on the WRL schedule for the year as well. In previous years, the last time I was able to use a 14-week schedule for a 12-team league, which we're going to be able to do for the WRL in each one of the regions this year, the bye weeks were done a little bit different than they are now. So we used to always use 4, 5, and 8, and then 11, 12, and 14 as the weeks in which you would play in-division games. And since the bye weeks kind of are a little crazy in the NFL now and not the same as they used to be, we're going to wait for that NFL schedule to see when the bye weeks are going to be, and that's going to affect both what we do in the APFL and what we do in the WRL. When we get that settled with the WRL, then we will come back on and do a live show, and we will do that wheel that we kind of did for the selection of where everybody went into the regions to figure out where our doubleheader week is going to be for the year in 2025. Remember, we are going to play 14 games in 13 weeks. One of those weeks is going to be a doubleheader week, and we're going to randomly select it. We're going to put the schedule together so we know when we're going to play out of division and in-division games based on the NFL schedule. That will be settled, and then we will roll the doubleheader week, and then we'll smash 2 weeks together, and that's when it's going to be. Whether that's going to be 2 out of division games, 2 in division games, 1 in, 1 out. We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know if that's going to be very light on the bye weeks, very heavy on the bye weeks. We're just going to let the wheel schedule it for us and see how that plays out this year. Let's see. It's a long season and it turns around tonight against Texas. Was it Keenly Jessen? Was a relief pitcher? Oh, you know what? Wanting to know who the pitcher was? You know what, Sean? Give me just a second and I will look real quick and see if I can pull it up for you while we're sitting here talking. Let me see if I can pull up their lineup for the week. And see if I can tell you who it was. And for some reason, I'm not seeing it. That is live. So let me look at totals, and then I will be able to tell you. No, it was Ryan Presley from the Chicago Cubs. I'll give you the stats since I've got it up in front of me. Negative 25 points is what ended up in fantasy. Ended up recording 0 innings pitched because did not ever record an out to even be able to record a third of an inning. Did, in fact, get the loss. I apologize because I got that wrong. He gave up 5 hits, 8 earned runs, a walk, and a hit batsman with no strikeouts. So that was the stat line for him for the week and why she ended up with negative 25 points. So pretty rough. And I'm not sure if that's somebody that normally sits on her roster or if that was somebody that she picked up going into it. So pretty rough night. Like I said, I literally got a call from her the next day going, how does a relief pitcher get negative 25 points? Had to go through her line by line to be able to explain it to her. And that's been rough. And that's why, probably not. I think even if you add 25 points back to hers and give her a 0 for that, it's going to be pretty rough going against Hanley. Him and one of the person that I talked to on the phone earlier today is not 2 people that I want to face off against in the playoffs. So that is it. Wanted to make sure you all saw the new graphics for the APBL. Let me know what you think of them. We might probably introduce something different next week and say, hey, what do you think about this? Which one should we play around with? Maybe because we have 7 different games that we can highlight, maybe we'll do a different one for each game and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And let you guys vote and see what we move forward when we get ready to go into 2026. Remember, the NFL schedule is getting released next Wednesday. I don't really know if we're going to have a broadcast next Wednesday per se, but we might have a happy hour here on StreamYard as we're watching the schedule release through probably the NFL channel or who's the second one, Brian? What do you mean? Who's the second one? Yeah, that's it. We will find a way to be online on Wednesday during the schedule release because other than draft day and any kind of fantasy drafts, as crazy as it sounds, over the last couple of years, the NFL schedule release has kind of become like a new holiday for me. So yeah, that's it. We almost hit 20 minutes. Jason said that we could make it. You weren't wrong, my friend. Hopefully you are enjoying your time in Gatlinburg. Make sure you stay off of the ATVs. Thank you to Jonathan, Katie, Hanley, Jason, Sean for all showing up tonight. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I think that was everybody that was on here. We will be back at least for happy hour for next Wednesday. I don't know if we're going to actually have a broadcast. We've been kind of doing the 7th inning stretch every 2 weeks. Maybe we'll be back next week for that. But either way, have a great weekend. Remember that it is Mother's Day weekend, so make sure you call up your mother and wish her a happy Mother's Day. And you all have a great evening. I have pizza waiting for me. I'm going to go eat that and have a drink and watch some baseball on the back porch. You all have a great night, and we will see you soon.